I haven't made a video in, God, a really long time, and I'm sorry for that. I apologize. I like to make films for the peoples, and I have failed to doing that lately, so I'm sorry about that. Life has been crazy. Back at Dynasty, and the shop is slammed busy, so it's hard for me to get time for myself to act like an idiot on camera. Sorry about that. But I do film stuff and put it out on the Dynasty page. If you haven't followed that one, go ahead and check it out. In the meantime, we have to do an update on the RX7. Woo! All right, number one question that I have been asked, well, the number one question is, why did the first engine blow up? But the number two question that I get is, Logan, what is your goal with the RX7? Like, what did you set out? What was your, like, this is what I want to achieve with the RX7? And for the longest time, I didn't have an answer. And then I decided my whole goal was just to beat Rise ass. So there's that. So, cat hair all over, just cat hair everywhere, covered in cat hair. Now, obviously, this is all in good fun. Rye has spent a ton of time on his car, way more time on his car than I've spent on my car. He's got a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. He's owned it for 27 years or wherever it came out. And he's had every opportunity in the world to build a car that would be faster than what I own. So I thought to myself, all right, Logan, you got 6 months. Let's see if you can beat Rye. It's my whole goal. Now, to Rye's credit, we had a 60-foot war, and my stick-shifted, supercharged 700 horsepower car, when it was supercharged, that's actually when it was single turbo, but it doesn't matter. When it was supercharged, the car went a 129 60-foot with a stick shift. And Rye's best 60-foot at the time was like a 130 something. So I gave him hell for a while because I was faster off the line than him, and he had an automatic, a solid rear end, turbo, built motor, blah, 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 blah. But he couldn't catch me at the 60-foot. But he did. This year, he went a 126 60-foot. And congratulations, Rye. You beat me to the 60-foot mark. Good job, bud. Really a huge accomplishment. If you are new-ish to the channel or you haven't watched our videos in the past, I'm going to give a brief overview on the RX7 setup, just so you're on the same page, so you can soak in all that is, I don't even have a way. I'm going to tell you about it. Also, unlike Rye, I don't take 76 takes for a clip. I just kind of go with the flow. This is organic. This is just it's seeping out of me like when I eat a salami sandwich and I look all greasy for 6 to 8 weeks afterwards, which is with the whole double chin thing you see. That's what that's from. Top to bottom on the power plant of the RX7. It is a 388 cubic inch Mike Lau Racing. Oh, Mike Lau, you're so dreamy. Mike Lau Racing long block. We got a set of Brodix BR1-13 cylinder heads. Those are cathedral port joints. We have a BTR Ultimate RPM spring kit. That's a 685 lift capable spring kit. Every single spring is individually pressure checked, blah, blah, blah. Bad as it could be. BTR Equalizer 1 intake manifold, powder coated black by Chris Tosco powder coating. And a pair of forced inductions, 7175s. The turbo kit was done by Kobe Fab, a buddy of mine, Aaron Gregory, who just took the automatic DSM quarter mile record. Shout out, Aaron. We got basic bolt-on stuff, obviously, or brackets rather. ICT billet, alternator bracket, no tensioner, just pulled tight. Holley EFI controlling everything on board. The short block is stuffed with a Cali's Magnum crank, with Cali's Ultra I-beam rods, and a set of Wiseco BTR boost pistons. Up front, we got a Fat House Fabrications intercooler. This thing will start in the summertime around 95 degrees. Because ambient air temp's high, it'll end at the top of a pole at like 102 degrees. This baby is bad. And another Fat House Fabrications piece, that catch can. That actually is my transmission catch can and my oil catch can for my engine as well as my coolant overflow. We got a 417 Motorsports water block, inline radiator fill, blah, 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 sick! The last combination that was in this car was damn near the exact same. The rotating assembly is different, but the turbochargers were the only big change. The turbochargers were 6673s. Those ended up on my buddy Chase's car. I don't know if you know Chase, but Chase has an S550. He's a janitor for Streetcar Takeover, and that car made in the 1300s through a 10-speed automatic. I elected to upgrade to the 7175s because I ditched the stick shift and I threw an automatic transmission in the car. It is now a Power Glide with a PTC converter spec'd by Dusty Bradford. Trusty Dusty Bradford! Whee! I work with people like Dusty as well as John Bewley because they have spec'd and worked with thousands of setups. And John Bewley specifically, he got me the camshaft I needed for this thing. It comes in a Power Mint. It works with that converter perfectly. The powertrain is all one symbiotic relationship. It's a beautiful thing. Quick interior. It's a mess because I haven't cleaned it from racing, and obviously I'm missing some pieces that just weren't jiving, like the top of this. But Holley EFI dash, we got our fire suppression system, we got some exposed wires, which is dope, outlaw shifter, parachute / steering wheel, and then my jolt switch panel deal. Everything is pretty simple on the interior of the car. Keep it simple so everything's easy to access and easy to reach. You go over to the passenger side, it's the same deal. Keeping it simple if I don't knock my shins into oblivion on these bullhorns. CO2's mounted there. You can see this line is just dangling because we had to cut and trim and make things work because my CO2 line actually burned up on the header the first pass down the drag strip. Okay, all right, around the old bullhorn. Everyone was like, you're gonna nail your shins on those bullhorns. And I was like, I know, but I don't care. I care a lot. Hurts really bad. So you know about the engine, you know about the interior, transmission stuff, the rear end, okay? The rear end, what powers this beast? It's actually one of the simplest setups you can do for an FD. It's an 8.8 iron center section from like a Mark 7 Lincoln with a rebuilt differential. It's a stock Cobra diff, 31 spline with extra clutches packed in there. Brock from Dynasty built it for me. A set of 6 or 7 year old DSS Pro level axles and a set of beadlock Torx wheels from RC Components. But it is, and obviously IDS suspension. The IDS suspension I credit for a lot of the car's success, but everything else on the car is as basic as it could come in terms of rear end. There's nothing fancy back there. Very, very straightforward. And obviously the paint, which is my favorite part of the car. Autocraft Custom Collision in Michigan, Grand Rapids to be specific. Mitch and the team at Autocraft, they laid in the carbon fiber roof, they faded it. It just came out nasty. It's so pretty. It's just a pretty car. All right, back and sidewards a little bit warmer. I know that everybody wants to get to the nittiest of grittiest. So number one is, what kind of power did the car make? Well, dynoing a car that makes this much power is insane. It's so scary. It's so scary. Dude, I wasn't joking in that in-car video. I literally couldn't film or make light or a vlog of that whole day because I was so terrified. Obviously, the last time I had my car in the dyno, things didn't go well. And Hal made me drive the car in the dyno, which was like, come on, dude. You don't trust me this time? Like, I tried to kill you once. You just, you can't just let that go. It's ridiculous, bro. So I just wasn't in the right mind state to make a video while we were tuning the car. But it made 950-ish pound-feet of torque and 1,220 horsepower. And that was at 22 pounds of boost. We couldn't turn it up anymore that day because fuel pressure started to plateau pretty heavy up top. So we were getting up to 58, 59 PSI peak, and it would just hang out there and it wouldn't continue to rise one-to-one. Whether that's a fuel pressure regulator situation or a pump situation, I still have yet to determine. But we were happy with the power it made at that boost level. And I said, you know what? Let's get the car down the track. It's plenty of power to do what I need to do and to beat Rye. So Rye only made 1,000. Me beating Rye on my very first try. Do. Woo! Yeah, man. Little did I know that would be my only clean pass of the day. And it really wasn't even clean because if you watch the video, watch it one more time. And I'm going to pop up right when I let off the throttle so you know. I'm off the gas. About 1,000 foot out, I blew a charge pipe off and I pulled the parachute in a panic, even though I was probably only going 150 something mile an hour. I laid on the brakes, went through the traps in the 120s. So that wasn't a full pass. That car was scaring the bejesus out of me. I thought I hit overboost in high gear. I just blew an intercooler pipe off. I blame myself. Whoo! Still beat Rye though. Obviously, again, this is all in fun. Love you, Rye. It was just your 67th birthday, so I'm not trying to clown on you too hard. But it was a very, very good feeling. My goal when I was at the track clearly wasn't, I gotta beat Rye. It was, let's just go from A to B. And the fact that the car did that, you can hear, I blipped the throttle at the 60-foot mark 2. I'll one more top play that for you one more time. Given the weather, I think it was mid-40s. The track prep was obviously marginal at best. I was really, really excited with that hit. The second hit of the day, I didn't know I had blown a charge pipe off. I thought I hit overboost, but I didn't have a data log. And the way the charge pipe blew off, it was just off kilter enough to where I couldn't see it from above. So I got up to the line on the second hit and the car wouldn't get on the brake. And I thought I had hurt something. I was terrified. I drove to the end of the track, came back, found the charge pipe blown off. And then the last pass of the day, I only got 3 passes because there were 7,000 people there for test and tune. The last pass of the day, I tried to be a hero, which I'll show you. So you can hear that skate session. I'm back outside because I was running hot. You could hear that skate session. I tried to lay back into the throttle probably 3 or 4 times. The track just was not having it. The car was just making too much steam. So that being said, successful day. Other than that, we're going to try to get the car back out again this year. If we can find a track prep down south we can go to. With work as busy as it is and things that I have going on in my personal life, it'll be tough. But I'm hoping we can make it happen. Worst case scenario, 2020 should be a wonderful year to get this thing sorted all the way through. I have no doubt that it has a 7-second pass in it. That 8th mile, I went 143 in the 8th, and that is 100% a 7-second pass had I been able to run it out the back door. So I'm excited for the car. I'm excited for how it performed. I'm excited to continue making content into 2020. And my only apology is to the people that watch that have been waiting for me to drop a video. I apologize. Life's gotten crazy, but I promise I'm going to start making more of a fool of myself on a daily basis. And thank you for sticking around through all of Rye's videos. I know that's tough on you. And Josh, the one video he does a year. But thank you guys so much. Holler! Which is what kids say, I think, when they say bye. It's like aloha, but it's like for kids, you know, children, millennials.
Everyone remember, it only took me one pass to beat Rye. Just one pass.